Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Advancement Center. Welcome to the world of magic and miracles. That was good timing. I don't know if you could see that in the background. We have deer going crazy here on the property right now since we planted clover, and it's like candy. They love it. And anyway, we've got a sprinkler system set up to sort of help deter them more from a young tree that we planted. But anyway, he was just nibbling and he got in the position to set off the sprinkler, so he went running. I don't know if you got that. So you may see a little activity behind me. Welcome. Another glorious day here, Northern California, the Sierra Nevada foothills, and with nature. It's pretty amazing to be here. I was sort of suddenly relocated here after my mother had an incident with her. She broke the biggest bone in our body. She broke her femur back in November. So here I am. But it's just amazing. I've been in love with nature as long as I can remember. In fact, when I was a little girl, my mother and I have great memories. She and I used to go hiking together quite a bit. And being from the Bay Area where I grew up, occasionally my father would come along. But for those of you that are familiar with the San Francisco Bay Area and Marin County, we would take hikes on Mount Tamalpais, the most beautiful mountain over the ocean. You could see it from just about everywhere in the Bay Area. And I have really fond memories of being a little girl and hiking with my mother in the trees, and we'd stop by stream beds, and it was magical. And thank you, Mom. I have some fabulous memories of those hikes. And of course, I continued way on into my adult years. I lived in Marin County for many years, and for a lot of years, I think I would go up onto that mountain hiking often by myself, pretty much all the time. So here I am now in the mountains, surrounded by nature. It's quite a treat. So today, like I've been doing these last couple or few weeks, I think what I'm going to do is once again introduce you to our Simeon broadcast for the week. For those of you who are familiar with Simeon, if you're not, it's okay. He's a very dear friend from the outer reaches of the universe. And this is from a broadcast only last year, actually, a little bit over a year ago. And as I've said before, I gather these, I choose them. I feel like it's like using a Ouija board. I'm not choosing with my brain. I'm not reading or listening to the broadcast to decide which one will be next. It just sort of chooses itself. And then I select an excerpt from it and create the invitation with it, which I can't stress enough. Join our mailing list down below for the Advancement Center so you can receive these beautiful invitations. They only come once a week. We don't pummel you with any other stuff. It's just this. So, and you could see what's all the broadcasts that are upcoming, as well as the Simeon Wednesdays. And at this point, for quite a while, we have broadcasts by Robert Young as well on Saturday mornings. But the only place you're going to see that is on our invitation. And then you get a little hint of what's coming this week. And I always choose a photo that I that talks to me and says, okay, this one fits this particular bit of wisdom. And it was really interesting because when I rewatched this latest Simeon broadcast, it was just, he had just finished, and the screen, he was about to, we were about to shut down the broadcast. And I just happened to catch him. Robert, Simeon speaks through him as his twin. I just happened to catch this most beautiful smile. And it was the absolute epitome of the unbelievable love and respect and gentleness and that emanates from both Robert and Simeon as he's coming through. It's really interesting to watch. Some days more than others, you see both of them. This makes sense. For those of you that are familiar with this whole thing, it will make more sense. To those of you who are not, well, that's okay. The brain doesn't have to understand everything. So anyway, I actually used a picture, a screenshot of Simeon's broadcast, and you'll see that on the invitation. It's really quite amazing. The feeling that came through that moment. And I don't even know how I got it. I don't even know if I meant to stop it at that point, the video. But so anyway, without further ado, I'm going to share just a little bit of the broadcast. Some of it I think overlaps what I used as the invitation for this week that just went out last night. But I'm going to share a little bit more. It's really fun. I've been just doing this, like I said, recently. I haven't been reading so much. But these words so affect me. And like I say, for all of us, every time one of these previous broadcasts is chosen, every single one of us here in the Advancement Center family is completely blown away by the timing. It may have happened 4 years ago or 1 year ago or 2, whatever. And yet you would think it was just delivered today for the first time when you see it. And this one hit me especially strong. It was very personal to me. And yet, Robert has told us, Simeon has told us over the years, that each one of these broadcasts that you get to watch from this Advancement Center platform on YouTube, it doesn't matter which of us is speaking, there's a connection that's made between the one speaking on camera and you who's listening and or watching these broadcasts. In fact, I think Simeon even speaks about it in this broadcast. But a channel is open just between you and whoever you're experiencing in this technology. So even though a bunch of us may be listening to the same thing, watching the same broadcast, everyone has their own unique channel. And it's actually two-way, especially with Simeon. I think it's for all of us, but it's a two-way channel. And it's quite amazing. And so this was just very near and dear to me at this moment in time. I couldn't believe it. So we'll see what well, I'm going to share. I can only share from my own experience. So this is an excerpt from kind of the middle of the broadcast that you will see tomorrow if you join us. Your origin exists for you, just like any experience in your physical world. It exists, but it only exists for you. You can relate your experience to anyone, but it's still only real to you. One of the reasons I've returned, I'm going to make a little side note. Simeon stopped broadcasting for several months. I don't remember the period of time. Therefore, this remark. One of the reasons I've returned is to enable everyone to take on the task that they decide should be instigated in the world, to actually take on the task that's in your heart that you thought was impossible, or you waited for somebody else to do. But to fix the world, it demands your input, your specific input. So each time you find something that doesn't fit or that goes against the grain, you can provide a solution that's non-aggressive or one that's aggressive. The only thing that matters is it won't work without magic. You don't produce a miracle unless you can see across the expanse of time and space. You can see the possibility of magic that will produce the miracle that you have in mind. As you experience the physical world or what is presented to you, your magic starts to get stirred and your physical being wants to react. There's nothing wrong with any of that. And you don't have to keep throwing everything out and saying it's not right. You simply change it in the world that you are looking after. You find the method that you know will work for you, and you fix it within you. And that affects the whole world. That's where the miracle comes in, the miracle of your life and what holds it together. You can summarize everything in a statement that means nothing, or you can tear things apart and analyze and keep yourself busy for the rest of your life. Or you can simply go direct for the miracle and watch the magic come into play, see the end result, and build it. Build it in your life to a reality that you live. And don't be concerned what anybody else thinks, because they have a similar project to you, which may be completely opposite to what you are doing. But remember the honor and respect that you have for one another, and remember that it has nothing to do with what each world presents as part of the whole. Each world that belongs to each one of you is unique, and it demands nothing. You demand everything, and you therefore command everything. In the blink of an eye, you can change a miserable situation to perfect by changing it in you. A simple reversal of non-acceptance to acceptance actually changes what is annoying you. It doesn't change you. When you accept that you kicked your toe, it can automatically get on with its job of healing, and in many cases simply disappear. Because you changed your world, the miracle of life flies into action and changes everything around you to match what you feel. And I have to call out this one sentence that's a bit further on in the broadcast. You're now about to change what has never changed before. That's life itself. So that really struck me. There's more, but that is so powerful, so perfect. And all I can say is, may I live up to this beautiful transmission, this amazing message. When you're going through challenging times here in these physical forms on planet Earth, and all the interesting interactions, especially with family. Birth family can be very interesting. It can be a lot sometimes. And as we go through whatever we experience in our own lives here in physical form, I know each and everything that we experience is for us to experience, to grow from. And I just had a flashback of when I was probably a teenager, maybe I was in my early 20s. And I think I was going through a really challenging time. And I found myself alone and in the top floor of a house I was living in that had this beautiful, once again, view of the trees. And I was just sitting there in silence by myself. And all of a sudden, my entire life flashed before me. And there was a lot of difficulty when I was young, and it all flashed by. But then what followed was this huge, like, waking up moment for me. I had this sudden understanding that if I hadn't had this particular set of circumstances in my life, I would not be the person that I am today. I think it was a message from God, from my bigger, broader self, the wise self that each and every one of us is. We're so much more than most of us know. It's amazing when you get little glimpses now and then. I know some of us here at the Advancement Center, I think, have had big glimpses recently of that amazing being that's looking out from behind our eyes. So I think that's all I have to share today. Thank you so much for joining me here. It's been an honor and a privilege once again to sit here to share my own life experiences in hopes that it may lift you up and send you on your way to your most perfect life with perfect health and an incredibly magic future. Thank you again for joining me. I am Genya.